Native speakers talk fast, and you understand nothing. But what if I tell you it's not your English, it's your listening habit? Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Speed Up English. My name is Hannah, and I'm really happy you're here with me today. Let me ask you something. Do you listen to English every day, but still feel lost? You hear the sounds, but the meaning disappears. You try harder, but native speakers still sound too fast. If that sounds like you, don't worry. You are not bad at English. You just haven't trained your listening the right way yet. Today, we're going to fix that together. Slowly, clearly, and with confidence. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's start listening the smart way. What is active listening? So what is active listening? Active listening means you don't just hear English, you really try to understand it. You are not only listening with your ears, you are listening with your mind. Now let's compare passive listening and active listening. When you listen passively, English is just background noise. You hear sounds, but your mind is somewhere else. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you are checking your phone. Maybe you are thinking about something else. But active listening is different. When you listen actively, you focus on the speaker. You pay attention to the ideas, not just the words. You think while you listen. You ask yourself simple questions. What is the speaker talking about? What is the main idea? This focus is very important. When you listen actively, your brain works harder and learns faster. You connect sounds with meaning. You stop translating word by word. This is why active listening is so powerful for learning English. When you practice this way, listening becomes easier. You understand more, and you feel more confident every day. Technique 1. Predict before you listen. Now let's move to the first technique. This is a very simple but very powerful habit. Predict before you listen. So what does predict mean? Predict means to guess what will happen before it happens. Before you listen to English, stop for a moment. Ask yourself one simple question. What do I think this is about? This small step prepares your brain. Your brain starts thinking about possible topics, possible words, possible ideas. Then, when the speaker starts talking, your brain is ready. You understand faster. You feel less confused. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are going to listen to a podcast about food. Before you press play, think for a few seconds. Will they talk about cooking? Will they talk about taste? Will they talk about fruits or vegetables? Now your brain is awake. Another example. You are going to listen to a video about travel. Before listening, ask yourself, will I hear words like airport, ticket, or hotel? Even if your guess is not perfect, that is okay. The goal is not to be right. The goal is to get your brain ready. This is like warming up before exercise. When you warm up, your body moves better. When you predict, your mind understands better. So remember this habit. Before you listen, stop for 10 seconds. Predict first, then listen. Practice time. 10 sentences. Now let's practice together. I will say a situation. Before each sentence, try to predict what you might hear. Then listen carefully. Sentence 1. You are listening to a podcast about work. They are talking about a busy day at the office. Sentence 2. You are watching a video about learning English. The speaker talks about daily practice. Sentence 3. You are listening to a story about travel. Someone misses their flight. Sentence 4. You are listening to a conversation about health. The speaker feels tired and needs rest. Sentence 5. You are watching a video about food. They describe a delicious meal. Sentence 6. You are listening to a podcast about friendship. Two friends have a small problem. Sentence 7. You are listening to a story about weather. It starts raining suddenly. Sentence 8. You are watching a video about studying. The speaker gives simple advice. Sentence 9. You are listening to a conversation about shopping. Someone cannot find the right size. Sentence 10. You are listening to a podcast about daily life. The speaker talks about morning routines. Great job. This is how you practice predicting before listening. Simple, calm, and very effective. Technique 2. Listen for main ideas, not every word. Now let's move to technique number 2. Listen for main ideas, not every word. This is very important. Many English learners make the same mistake. They try to understand every single word, but this makes listening very stressful. Here is the truth. You do not need to understand every word to understand English. When native speakers talk, they speak fast. They use new words. They use expressions you don't know. And that is normal. Good listeners focus on the main idea. The main idea is the big message. It is what the speaker wants to say, not every small detail. Let me give you an example. I didn't go to work today because I felt sick. Maybe you don't know every word, but you understand the main idea. The speaker stayed home. Why? Because they were sick. That is enough. Here is another example. We were late, but we finally arrived home safely. You hear late. You hear arrived home. You know the story. There was a problem, but the ending was good. So remember this. When you listen, don't panic about new words. Stay calm. Keep listening. Ask yourself one question. What is the main idea? If you understand the main idea, you are doing well. Listening is about meaning, not translation. With practice, more words will become clear, and listening will feel easier and more natural. Practice time. Main idea practice. Now let's practice together. Listen to each sentence. Do not focus on every word. Focus on the main idea. I missed the bus this morning, so I was late for class. She studied every day and she passed the test. It started raining, so we stayed at home. He was tired, but he finished his work. The store was closed, so we went somewhere else. They didn't understand the lesson, so they asked a question. I forgot my wallet, but my friend helped me. The movie was long, but it was very interesting. She felt nervous, but she did very well. The food was simple, but it was delicious. Great job. If you understood the main idea, you are improving. You do not need perfect listening. You need smart listening. Technique 3. Listen more than once. Now let's move to technique number 3. Listen more than once. Many learners listen only one time. Then they feel frustrated. They think their English is not good enough. But this is not true. Listening one time is not enough. The first time you listen, your brain is just catching sounds. You are getting used to the voice, the speed, the accent. Maybe you understand a little, maybe only a few words, and that is okay. When you listen the second time, something changes. Your brain knows what is coming. You feel more relaxed. You understand more. You catch new words. You hear the rhythm of English. The third time is even better. You notice small details, a word you missed before, the feeling in the speaker's voice. This is how real listening works, little by little, layer by layer. Think about music. When you hear a song one time, it sounds okay. When you hear it many times, you start to remember it. You can sing along. English is the same. So don't worry if you don't understand everything the first time. Good listeners listen again and again. Each time your understanding grows. Each time your confidence grows. So remember this rule. 1 time is not enough. 2 or 3 times is much better. Technique 4. Use context to guess new words. Now let's move to technique number 4. Use context to guess new words. This technique is very useful because you will always hear new words in English, and that is normal. Context means the words around a new word. It also means the situation, the story, and the feeling of the sentence. When you hear a word you don't know, don't stop. Don't panic. Keep listening. Look at the other words in the sentence. Think about what is happening. Ask yourself one simple question. What could this word mean? Let me give you an example. I was starving, so I ate 3 sandwiches. Maybe you don't know the word starving, but you hear ate 3 sandwiches, so you can guess the meaning. Starving means very hungry. You didn't need a dictionary. You used context. Here is another example. We cancelled the picnic because it started pouring. You hear picnic, you hear cancelled, so you can guess pouring means heavy rain. This is how native speakers understand new words too, even in their own language. So remember this, context is your helper. Your brain is smarter than you think. Trust it. Practice time. Context practice. 5 sentences. Now let's practice together. Listen carefully. Try to guess the meaning from context. 1. She was exhausted after work, so she went to bed early. 2. The movie was hilarious and everyone was laughing. 3. He grabbed an umbrella because the sky was dark and cloudy. 4. I was relieved when the test was finally over. 5. The room was silent when the teacher started speaking. Great job! If you can guess the meaning, you are listening actively. This skill will help you understand more English every day. Technique 5. Don't multitask. Stay focused. Now let's move to technique number 5. Don't multitask. Stay focused. Multitasking means doing many things at the same time. For example, listening to English while checking your phone, or listening while cooking, or listening while working. This feels productive, but it is not good for learning. When you multitask, your brain cannot focus fully. You hear English, but you don't really understand it. You miss important ideas. You forget what you just heard. Learning English needs attention, especially listening. When you focus on one thing, your brain works better. You understand more. You remember more. And you feel calmer. So try this simple habit. Create a short English time every day, just 10 or 15 minutes. During this time, do only one thing. Listen. No phone, no messages, no distractions. Treat English like a real conversation. When someone speaks to you, you listen. You don't look away. You stay present. This focus will change your listening, slowly but deeply. Shadowing practice, word by word. Sentence 1. Don't multitask. Stay focused. Don't multitask. Stay focused. Sentence 2. Your brain needs full attention. Your brain needs full attention. Sentence 3. When you multitask, you miss ideas. When you multitask, you miss ideas. Sentence 4. Focus helps you understand more. Focus helps you understand more. Sentence 5. Listen with your full attention. Listen with your full attention. Sentence 6. 10 minutes of focus is enough. 10 minutes of focus is enough. Sentence 7. No phone, no distractions. No phone, no distractions. Sentence 8. One thing at one time. One thing at one time. Sentence 9. Focused listening builds confidence. Focused listening builds confidence. Sentence 10. Stay present and keep listening. Stay present and keep listening. Now let's take a moment to review. Today you learned 5 active listening techniques. You learned how to predict before you listen. You learned how to listen for main ideas, not every word. You learned to listen more than once. You learned to use context to guess new words. And you learned to stay focused and not multitask. These techniques are simple, but they are very powerful. You don't need perfect English. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to listen the right way. Remember this: every time you listen, your brain is learning. Even when it feels hard. Even when you don't notice progress. Progress is happening. So be patient with yourself. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me. This is Hannah from Speed Up English. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.